Which of the following is a common pre-analytical consideration that could affect the quality and consistency of a blood specimen? So remember, the pre-analytical consideration is anything that occurs prior to the lab. So when we have our lab and they're testing the results, this is considered your analytical part of the process. And now when you have your pre-analytical and your post-analytical, your pre has to do with anything with obtaining the actual specimen. So anything prior to the lab. So obtaining the specimen, handling the specimen, anything up to the point of bringing it to the lab where they actually do the analysis. And then anything after the actual lab analysis would be your post-analytical. So that would be anything having to do with results interpretation, or how the results get disseminated to the patients. So let's see what is common in a consideration for anything that could affect your pre-analytical part of the process. So option A says the patient's mood during the draw. Now remember, this is the test for a blood specimen. So the patient's mood would not affect what kind of results you are going to see in your blood draw, so we can eliminate option A. Option B says time of day that the specimen was collected. And the time of day is related to the pre-analytical section because this is anything that could affect the actual specimen prior to the actual analysis during the lab time. And the time of day could affect the results for certain tests. For example, the glucose level or the cortisol level, that could be affected by what has been eaten yet or just how hormones fluctuate during different times of the day. And therefore, option B would be a good choice for an effect on the pre-analytical phase. But let's look through the other options as well. Option C says the type of music playing in the background, and that's not something that would affect the specimen results, so we could eliminate that. And then option D says the patient's opinion about the phlebotomist. We hope that they have a positive experience at the phlebotomist, but even if they don't, this wouldn't affect the results of the test. Their blood levels are their blood levels, and their opinion on how they feel about what's going on at that moment shouldn't change that. So we could eliminate option D, and that leaves us with option B. The time of day would absolutely be part of the consideration for the pre-analytical phase.